my God! You push this little button there. As you can see, it's ready to take the trays. Clear all the code. So guys, there you have it. The BMW 7 Series is completed. So let's break down everything. So far, the car owes us about Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode from Salvage Nation. In this episode, we're continuing the work that we're doing on the 2018 BMW 7 Series. And in the last episode, we began the work. I know a lot of you got into the comments talking about, I just put a bit of filler. No, we began the work. There's still a lot of stuff that we did off camera, and there's still a lot more to come in this episode. But we're gonna continue all the body work on all the panels that we need to sort out. Also, whilst we were going over everything, we realized that the wiring loom from the replacement door that we bought, and this often happens, is actually wrong. So if the spec of the donor car was higher or lower than the spec of our car, then sometimes you can have this discrepancy, and we have got a major discrepancy. So our car has got the soft close, it's got kind of sensors in the handle, it's got the cameras in the mirrors and all sorts, and the donor car, even though it's the same 7 Series, has not got all that kind of spec. So we got to go ahead and gut out the wiring loom from the existing door and replace it with the one that we took from our broken, blown door. So that's where we're going to be starting, and then we're just going to continue to do everything else, get some paint down, get the car ready, and hopefully get it out of here. So let's go. So to get started, I had to remove the sound deadening material, which was hiding the nuts and bolts needed to remove this plastic trim. Follow those bolts removed, it was time to remove the door speaker, followed by some more connectors which held the window regulator in place, and you'll see why I had to remove that later on. But things were going well and everything was coming apart nicely. Now back to the window regulator, which had to be removed in order to remove the window to gain further access to remove all of the wires. Now with everything disconnected, removed, it was simply a task of unclipping the wiring loom and then feeding it through the access holes on the inside of the doors. Now you're seeing this very fast, you're seeing this very edited down, but it's a very time consuming and can be frustrating at times, but the process is going to plan, and here we are, we've made it. Alright so guys, so if you look right here, if you look right here, this is the replacement wiring loom for the new door, which comes from the old car. Hope that makes sense. But this is the original wiring loom. It was a little bit of a task. We ended up having to remove the window because the window regulator is not working. I'll figure that out later. But we've gone ahead and replaced this wiring loom. One of the main reasons was, where is it? Like, this is the plug here. This plug here is for the outside mirror. Now, this has got, I'm counting at least 10 to 15 wires, whereas the original loom that was in the donor car has only got about 4 to 5 wires, and that's because obviously it hasn't got all the amazing spec that this car has got. But anyway, enough about that. We've gone ahead and we've fitted that. We can continue the assembly on this door later on. Now it's time to close it off and prep it for paint, because we're going to be painting the externals of the door, painting that bonnet, painting that bumper, getting everything nice and looking all pretty, and then get everything back together and hopefully get this car well on the way to being completed. I hope you're enjoying it, and if you are, remember now, press that like button. And if you're watching it and you're not subscribed, guys, you know what to do, subscribe. But for now, let's continue. So after swapping out the loom, it was time to prep for paint. Now because we're going to be painting the door, it's always good practice to remove the door handles when possible. And this is what Akil is doing right here, before going ahead and swapping out the soft close module, which was present in the previous or the broken door. It's always good to use the same parts that came with the car. So with all of that sorted, we went ahead and we sanded down all the areas that needed to be painted, and then we went ahead and masked it up, and just like that, boom, we went ahead and we dropped some paint, and there you have it. The paintwork is looking amazing. Alright you guys, so it's the next morning here, and as you can see, overnight Akil went ahead and he put down some paint. Now check this out, a lot of people always get in the comments, we haven't got a booth, yes, a lot of garages don't, but check this out, the paint work has come out really good, I can't lie, like literally it feels so smooth. And it's still yet to be cut and polished, and I always say this on a lot of the jobs that we kind of put on the channel, etc, but just have a look at that. The bonnet was sprayed off the car as well, come out of the reflections, but yeah, once again, so clean, so smooth, and that looks amazing. But what we want to go ahead and do now is get all of the paper off, unmasked. We need to set up all the door bits, set up the soft close, replace the bonnet, put the bonnet back on the car, get everything nice and clean. I found some really nice tricks on the interior of the car, I'll show you guys later on, but I'm happy with that. Do a final lining up, and yeah, this car should be out of here, man. So this is my favorite part of any build. It's like unwrapping a nice present at Christmas time, and I called in my guy Akil to give me a hand, and we went ahead and we fitted that bonnet. After that, we did the preliminary lining up procedure just to make sure that the bonnet was opening and closing, and we can continue that lining up process upon final assembly. Jeez, and there you have it guys, the bonnet closed, and look at those gaps. The door handle was reassembled and everything was looking great. We went ahead and we started the reassembly of the interior, but it had a lot of glass, so my guy Akil just used the air blaster to blast some of that broken glass out of there. Next we moved on to the engine bay, and we got some new covers, and have a look, the car is actually coming together, and trust me, it's looking amazing. Alright you guys, so have a look. That bonnet, like I said, is looking amazing. Obviously the front of the car is still really dirty, but as you just seen, Akil went ahead, we put the front bumper on, and I know a lot of you guys were asking about this, so as you can see, the door is closed, open, and then there it is. Soft close works. Now that everything on the exterior is coming together, it's time we do something about this interior. I don't like the look of that, so I need to close up this door. We sprayed the outside and we've also sprayed the inside. I'm happy with that, so that door card can go on. If you have a look here, you've got that bird's eye view camera right there, but it's saying that there's a problem right here, and that's what I said, that's the reason why we had to change this loom, so that we can go ahead and refit the replacement side mirror. But anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get all of this put back together and continue getting this car rebuilt. Okay, so now we're getting to the business end of this build. It's time to replace all the broken parts and then just add the final finishing touches before the build will be completed. So after adding the replacement mirror and reassembling that interior door panel, it was time to add all the trims and get that new door handle on there. Everything is looking nice, and just have a look at the way everything is literally coming together. Off camera, Akil went ahead and reassembled the interior, and now it's time to get down to some polishing. Now after some wet sanding on the surface of the paint, this will get rid of any imperfections on the surface of the paint. And trust me, you have to take your time at this process, because if you take your time here, later on down the line, the final finish of that paintwork is really going to bank on the time and the effort that you put in at this stage. Now while Akil is working on the exterior of the car, I'm actually getting busy on the interior, but I'll explain a little bit more about that later on. After about 2 to 3 hours of polishing, guys, just look at the surface of that paint glimmer underneath the lights. This is what I was saying about putting in the time and effort to sand it and make it as smooth as possible. Alrighty guys, it's about 2-3 days later since the last time I checked in with you. Have a look at this 7 Series now. The paintwork is looking amazing. We got a little bit of condensation on this headlight. Now this is the original headlight. It didn't seem like it had any damage, but I think it's got a little crack somewhere. We need to look for that crack, patch that up, and hopefully that condensation will be no more. But for now, you just saw Akil sanding this bonnet down. We went ahead and we did, check this out, Akil went ahead and picked up this compound. Ooh. Akil went ahead and picked up this compound specifically for this car. It's like 30 quid for this little bottle. It's really, really good stuff. And this has really cut down that paint. Trust me, have a look at that finish. It's amazing. But we've run into a few problems. As you said, actually, I'll close the door. The external of the car is looking amazing. Everything's looking nice. The car is really, really transformed. Soft close is working. I've been using the BMW Insta program to diagnose this car. There's a problem where nothing on this door seems to be working. Now, the only thing that we're getting is a missing LIN signal. I don't know. The LIN network, so the LIN network is similar to the CAN bus network. There's clearly a problem. I'm hoping it's a broken fuse somewhere. It's not just the door. So it's saying that the switch, the mirror, the locks, it's all having missing LIN bus signal. But the crazy thing is, it's also saying the same fault for the seats. If I go back, I should be able to show you the fault code. So if you have a look right here, I'm getting the driver's door LIN. So there's something, because it's so scattered, and it's also saying that for the seat, I know that there was no damage to the seat. So I'm assuming that there's no power supply to this region of the car. So I've got myself my little tester. I'm going to be going through all the fuse boxes, and hopefully I can find the issue. So I'll check in with you once I've done that. All right guys, so it's giving me a lot of headache. I've torn apart the passenger side, because normally on the BMWs, that's where the internal fuse box normally lives. But like I showed you earlier in this episode, that passenger side has got a lot of mechanisms that has to do with kind of like the fragrance dispenser, etc. So coming over to the driving side, I've kind of torn down over here and I've found the fuse box. And if you look up there, that's the fuse box there. And I've literally just found, if you look, there's one of those little number 5 fuses. I've kind of pulled it down a little bit down there, and I found that that's blown. Now I'm hoping that that has something to do with the power supply, because there's no voltage supply to the door and all the driver section. The way that the CAN network works on this particular model is you got one power supply for the driver side, one power supply for the passenger side, and I'm hoping that has something to do with it. So I'll catch up with you guys in a few minutes. Hopefully everything will be working then. Okay guys, we have got an update. Check it out. I've started the car, left it running, ignore the light. That's the blown fuse right there. And as you can see now, you press the button, everything is going up, everything's going down. You press the other button there, that's all spinning, that's all good. The next thing I need to do is just log back into the car, clear all the codes, and see if all of these codes can go. Alright you guys, so it's the next day and everything on the external side of the car is all good. It's just these little bits that I need to put back on, and then we'll be heading down to the car wash. If you remember yesterday, I tore down all of these kind of plastic bits to access the fuse box under there, sorted all of that out. Everything on the car is working now. I just need to plug all of this back in, and we're going to be going down to the car wash. I got some really interesting bits in the post as well. I found some new features on the car. I'll be showing you what all of this jazz is about. And also, I managed to track down, hold on, let me get it. I tracked down the previous owner, and guess what I got? Oh my God! Yeah, I always wanted one of these, but I'll show you that later on. Let's go. So enough of the excitement, back to work. After popping in the steel trim, it was time to put in this under panel. After plugging it all in, just literally pop it into place, and they're 2 little turn screws. Next it's time for that Harman Kardon tweeter, and have a look, boom, just like that. I repeated the same thing on the other side, and it was time to go. So guys, check this out. This car's got something that's really clever, and you only find this on the more higher end cars. If you look at that little button right there, where is it? Right there, you can see the little spray sign. It's kind of like perfume spray. Well, these little cartridges right here, these are little fragrances. These are little fragrances, green and blue, and they kind of mix to make others, kind of like a printer. And then if you come into the glove, you push this little button there. As you can see, it's ready to take the trays. I just need to, it's a bit fidgety. So that's one, that's it. And as you can see, they're ready to go. And all you need to do is push it in now. It should come up on the screen. And now that I've put the cartridges in, if I press the button there, you'll see show the fragrance settings. That is just so nice, and I'll let you know how that gets on as I drive the car. But for now, I've got everything put back together on the interior. It's just the exterior is a little bit messy, so let's get down to the car wash. So guys, I'm waiting for the car wash. Guess who I just saw? My good friend Teddy. Yes, bro, easy. Walk on. Look at that mess. All right, guys, so while we wait, let's check out the other big thing that I just got off the previous owner of the car, which is a BMW smart remote. I'm told that this car can make the car start, turn it off, it can make it go into drive, go forward, make it park itself. And this is an official BMW one. It's not like the cheap Chinese copies. I'm told. I'm not sure, but I want to put it through its paces once we're finished getting the car all cleaned up. But for now, it's a bit of a wait. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cars ahead. So I'm just gonna skip this. You all have seen me do this many a times, washing these cars. So I'm gonna catch up with you once the car is washed. So let's get out of here, man. So guys, in little over a few weeks, we have completely transformed this 7 Series from a wreck to a thing of beauty. Check it out. So guys, there you have it. The BMW 7 Series is completed. We went ahead and I got it nice and washed, but that has brought up a problem which we're gonna have to fix off camera, and that's this headlight right here. It's got a bit of condensation, but that is the least of my worries for now. Have a look at the door. The soft close is all working. Everything is working fine with that. Look at this area. This is the area that had the majority of the damage. We went ahead and we did all the body work. We finished everything on that damaged area, and now this thing is looking amazing and I'm happy. I want to go through a few figures because all of you guys always ask for like, what are the figures for dealing with cars like this? So I'm going to go through a few figures and then we're going to be wrapping up this build. And this build is not cheap, but coming up soon, I've got a budget build and I'm going to be showing you how I navigate COPART to get the best deals and the best prices and what I look out for and what I avoid. But anyway, the 7 Series is completed. Let's break it down. So guys, before I break down the whole prices and everything, have a look at this one. This is the smart BMW key. Let me just get that focus for you. Have a look. And if I slide it up like that, stick it into a park, it's connecting. It says it's connecting to the car. I don't know if you can see that. No, interference with connection.
Few moments later.
And I should be able to get the car started. Yep, so engine start, activating remote start. I can hear it ticking. And there you have it, the car's started. You should be able to get the car to park itself. So guys, the parking section is not working. However, it does start. And for some reason it's saying parking failure. I don't know why. I'll have a look at that off camera, but let's go break down the prices. So let's break down everything. So far the car owes us about 15K. They're going for about 26, 27, so we knew how much we had to, or we knew what our limit was when we were bidding basically. So the car owes us about 15K. We bought a new door for around 400 quid. We bought a new leather door card, that was 200 quid. We bought a new front wing for the driver's side, that was 200 quid. All new engine plastic covers from BMW with the VAT and everything. It came up to about 245 quid. And if we were charging labor, obviously we've done it all in-house. If we were charging labor to a customer, you'd be looking around the 2 grand mark because it was a lot of work on this car and it was quite extensive, the damage. But that is nice and quick and simple to break it down. For what it owes us is around the 16 grand mark, which leaves a 10 grand profit margin potentially. So we're happy with that.
Just to add, like I said, if I was charging it for someone else, you'll be looking around the £2,000 mark. So that potentially could have brought the total spin to around 18K. But for now, total spin on this 2016 BMW 7 Series, fully spec'd out, it's just 16K, and it's got a value or pre-accident value of around 26 to 27K. And I'm hoping that I can get around 22. If I get 22K, I'm happy. But yeah, that's it. Now I know we're talking bigger kind of monies than what a lot of people's budget are in this day and age. So like I said earlier, I'm going to be coming up with a new build. It's all about a budget build and that, so stay tuned for that. But for now, this car's gone, and that's going to be it for the 7 Series on the channel. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press the like button, and this is where we're going to head off. So like I always say, keep it moving, and I'll see you in the next one.
Guys, thank you for watching. Click here to see what YouTube thinks you should watch. Click here to watch one of my previous episodes. And like it said there, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We out.